Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mihai Gutu with Wolfpack Society, your Seattle real estate agent. Happy holidays. Heading into 2023 is going to be very interesting to watch which way the real estate market is going to head. And 2022 was pretty rough for real estate market, specifically for sellers and also for buyers, because the buyers are in fear mode today. And I understand this is a big commitment for most of the people. This is the biggest investment of their life. So of course, they're going to take very little steps when heading into purchasing a home. So in today's video, I want to talk about more like a remind ourselves about how was the previous market and how it was for buyers and sellers then, and how is in today's market for buyers and sellers. But before proceeding to my video, consider subscribing to my channel. I'm putting a lot of good information for educational purposes, for buyers, sellers, agents, and if you find my information useful and videos interesting, hit it on thumbs up, comment something, give it some love. Let's dive in. So I will start with the previous market. What was the biggest factor that was driving the previous market? And that was, of course, the low interest rates. And we're talking about historically low interest rates. We've never seen so low interest rates in 52 years. Think about this. Might be one lifetime opportunity. But with this opportunity came a lot of competition. On the one side, we had a lot of buyers that tried to secure a very low interest rate. On the other side, another factor that was driving that crazy competition was low inventory of homes on the market. And that was simply because we passed through a pandemic, which slowed down the production of everything, including construction materials. So the home builders didn't have another choice just to slow down what they were doing. So they could build less homes. That created even a bigger competition. So how it was to be a buyer in the previous market? I can tell you it was horrible to be a buyer in the previous market and a very good position to be a seller. So if you would be a seller in the previous market, you put your home on the market, not necessarily to do any touch-ups because everything was selling. Your home would sell in 3-5 days. Think about this, 3 to 5 days, the home is gone, depending on the area. Next, the price escalating, if it's more the suburbs, Pierce County, stuff like that, 50, 100, 150,000 over asking. If it's more up north, Newcastle, Renton Highlands, Bellevue, Issaquah, Kirkland, depending on the price range, price would escalate from 200 to 500,000 over asking. Think about this. People buy homes at that price. So also, being a buyer in that market was you have to be on the toes all the time. You have to be in the search mode all the time, and the soon one new listing pops up, you have to see it the next day, because if you're not gonna see it the next day, the day after tomorrow is gonna be gone. So you have to move very fast, right? But when you're moving very fast, you're not necessarily taking the best financial decision. For most of the buyers, it was just to buy something, not necessarily to be 100% what they want, right? It was just hype. Another very important moment in the purchase process was the inspection, which was waived all the time in the previous market. You buy something that you have no clue in what condition that house is. You buy it, you move in, and then you start like boom, 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 different issues that you have to come up with additional cash out of pocket so you can fix those things. So basically buying a house blindly, this is how it was. Well, of course you could do a pre-inspection, but most of the people, they wouldn't do that. Because if you do a pre-inspection, you lose that property, losing money on pre-inspection, and if you don't get the home, that means you lost that amount of money. And also emotionally, it was hard to go through bidding wars and lose. I could say I lost, everybody lost a lot of homes during that market, even putting the best offers that my client could. And losing, that was very frustrating for my buyers. I could feel for them, and also I don't like to lose, but I had to go through that. Another thing was that the buyers in previous market had to have more cash to close. And that was simply because the closing costs would not be covered or negotiated with the seller, not even talking about this with them. Then every offer should have a Form 22AD, additional down payment, right? And if you didn't have that, your offer was very weak. So you had no chance to win. And what that means is if the price escalates 100,000 over asking and the appraisal comes 100,000 lower, the sellers most of the time would want all this gap to be covered by buyers, or a good portion of that. So if you make an offer in the previous market without having a Form 22 in place, most of the time you would lose right away. And I remember in 2020, 2021, when people were looking at the interest rates at like 3.5, 3.7, it was like, no, these interest rates are high. I'll wait for the rates to go to 2.5. Well, it didn't happen. And now we have to deal with 8% interest rates, right? So every market has its pros and cons. We have to understand that. You can't guess the market. You just have to take calculated decision based on numbers, based on facts, not just emotions. So now let's go to today's market. And we've seen the heartbreak in the previous market somewhere in March 2022. And then so many rate hikes. I don't even remember how many, but we got to like almost 7.5, almost 8. And of course, a lot of news about recession, inflation, a lot of fear going on, a lot of like news about the war going in Europe. So I understand, the market took like a very sharp turn here. So what that means for the sellers. The sellers in this market are definitely not in a good position. And I know you can come up with different arguments, but I know if you are a seller in this market, you are forced to sell. And I look this way at the sellers in today's market. If you have a stock and the price for that stock dropped 20% and somebody forces you to sell and take that loss, would you do it? No, you would wait until the market rebounds, at least to get all your money that you initially invested, or at least with some profit, right? Same thing with the real estate. Sellers in today's market, they're forced from different reasons to sell. But what the buyers are doing in today's market. So, well, first, a lot of buyers are a little bit paralyzed by fear, are paralyzed by news and everything what's going on. But those who are buying, they see a lot of opportunities. So in today's market, you need less cash as a buyer because the closing costs and the more concessions are covered by the seller. Plus, the price is negotiable. If you are a buyer, you could be very strategic. Let's say buy a home that is at a good discount. In today's market condition, 1 month on the market, that's normal, right? So if they stay more than 1 month on the market, they probably dropped already 20, 30, 50 grand, depending on the price range. And if you kind of keep an eye on a property that you like and drops to a certain point, then you come in and then you make them a little bit a lower offer, but also you ask for closing costs and incentives because you need their money to pay down your interest. And you can buy the points down from the seller, or if it's enough money, you can buy the 2-1 buy down mortgage agreement. So if you're having a conventional loan, you can ask up to 3% from the purchase price. If it's an FHA loan, you can ask for 4% in closing costs and concessions. If it's a jumbo loan, you can ask up to 6% in closing costs. So that definitely can cover a good portion of the 2-1 buy down program expense, or buy the rate down and get your interest rate to a certain point, much lower than the interest rates market. And then wait until the interest rate is gonna get lower than your 2-1 buy down mortgage agreement, and then do a refinance, and all that money that are left from that program, they're gonna be returned back to you as a payment towards your principal. So we see in this market very good opportunities for buyers, but I cannot say buy now because it's the best opportunity of your lifetime. It might be, but also it might be that the prices are gonna keep dropping. But if the rates are gonna start dropping, we're gonna start seeing gradually more competition. So it's up to you. Again, it's always a risk. You cannot guess the market 100%. So I advise to all sellers and buyers to take a calculated decision when taking this very important step in their life. I really hope that I helped you with taking this decision, and you find my information useful and my videos interesting. Again, consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Hey Vanessa, so you came to help me? Yeah? What's that? That's the Wolfpack Society sign. Look right there. Say hi everyone. Hi. Say my name is Vanessa. You want to say something here? Say, blah, 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 blah. Say.